Welcome to the Adventures in Alchemy podcast, where we share tips, techniques, and true stories to support you in using the law of attraction and alchemy to create magic and live the life of your dreams. Here's your host, the founder of dailyalchemy.com, Michelle Martin Dobbins.
Hey there, it's Michelle Martin Dobbins from dailyalchemy.com. And in the US, Thanksgiving is coming up. I believe it's already passed in Canada. And I'm not sure about what other countries celebrate this painful family holiday. I'm just kidding, actually. But I love Thanksgiving, but I know that sometimes it can just be kind of a crazy time. And in recent years, November is the month where people start putting on their timeline every day what they are thankful for. And I think that is a great process. It's really beautiful to think about the things that you are thankful for. And I also challenge you to feel thankful for the things that you have that you don't think you want. Because there are things in your life that you may not want, right? Crazy relatives, health issues, other family issues, money issues, job issues. There's so many things that we might be looking at saying, I don't want this, but that thing is a gift too. If you listen to Abraham Hicks at all, they tell you that when you see what you don't want, when you get it, it more clearly helps you decide what you do want. And I would also wonder that sometimes the things that we think we don't want, we actually on some level do want. And the way to stop wanting them is to stop fighting against them. And when I say wanting them, I don't mean on a conscious level. I mean on a subconscious level or in the shadow aspect of ourselves. I know even for myself, I've had this problem, and okay, it's really hard to admit this, okay, but I get sucked into the drama of political stuff going on or like any kind of horrible disaster in the world, and I'm like on Twitter, what happened? And my brain says, this is horrible. Why is this happening? I don't want this. And then I had to examine my thoughts and think, wait a minute, this is giving me a great excuse to deflect from all the things that are really important in my life, all the things that I really want to focus on and create. I'm not focusing on them. I'm sitting here focusing on, oh my gosh, this is horrible. And I had to kind of really sit and, like, am I a horrible person? Because like way, way, way deep down in the recesses, I don't want bad things to happen, but I think that there's a part of my shadow that like enjoys having that drama unfold. And I don't think I'm the only one, because I don't have cable anymore, but I've seen people who watch the news like it's going out of style and they don't put anything good on there, right? Like you're sitting there waiting to hear what bad crap happened. And if there wasn't a lot of people who didn't like that, then the news would not be a thing. Or it wouldn't be that the fact that they share bad news every day, right? Because bad news gets ratings. We stop and we look at it and like, there's a part of us who's like either, thank goodness, all this stuff isn't happening to me, or there are people who have it worse than me, or what. I don't know exactly why in my psyche, although I can share with you what I think it is. What I think it is just the fact that it's a good excuse for me to unplug and unawake myself and say that I am awake. I'm dealing with bad stuff in the world and I have to focus on it. I don't have time right now to focus on creating what I want because I have to worry about this bad stuff. Whereas if I were actually focused on creating what I want, then when I'm creating more of what I want, I make a space for other people to create more of what I want. What I want, what they want. And, if I'm creating health and prosperity and wealth and connection, then the more of that that's in the world, the less of all that ick that's going to be on the news. So the simple solution to the ick that's going to be on the news, and I'm not saying to bury your head in the sand and not deal with situations in the world, but you also have to be aware of you and your personal demons. For me, my personal demon is to numb out on seeing bad stuff in the world. And so I can't do that. And I have to focus on where I can be of assistance. And where I can be of assistance is if I make money and I donate money to kiva.org, or I donate money to Love 146 that gets people out of human trafficking, and kiva.org makes small micro loans to people all around the world so that they can start their own business, small businesses, and grow and thrive without having to take a handout from government. Those are some of the things that I'm passionate about, and you'll probably have your own. But as long as I'm sitting there wasting time just scrolling the hashtags, what's happening on Twitter, what's the bad political thing, or what's the bad natural disaster that's happening today, I'm not offering solutions. I'm just drinking the pain. So what does this have to do with gratitude? Is that if I can sit and be grateful and love the fact that this is happening and the fact that I'm becoming aware of it, and that kind of gives me that freedom to let it go and focus on solutions. I'm not here to tell you that anything bad that happened to you is good necessarily, but there is a gift in it. And you have two choices. When something happens that you don't like, you can just let it all be negative, or you can be thankful for the chance to grow and learn from it and look for that area that you can learn and grow from it. And to me, that becomes like a deeper connection with gratitude. I've known someone who had cancer who said it was the best thing that ever happened to them, and not to make light of cancer and anybody else who's suffering from it, or any other horrible thing, but just step back and see. Like for this person, they're like, I became awake. I learned to love myself. I learned, and they survived cancer and are cancer free. And I know that doesn't happen for everybody, but if you can take whatever is being handed to you and just step outside and look for something to be grateful for. And if you can't in the moment, it's totally okay. But I find that the more I can accept where I am right now and be grateful for all the things that I don't like about where I am right now, that's how I get out of where I am right now. It's so counterintuitive, but the truth is it works. And for me, it doesn't necessarily make the cancer go away, and it doesn't necessarily put money in the bank. But what it gives you is the freedom to move in a new direction and the freedom to feel better. And that, like, when you feel better, when you feel in gratitude, you can make better choices and you can live more fully present than you can when you're stuck in fear. Fear is just, it's a trap. You can't move when you're in fear. And if you can't move, then you're not really living. You're falling asleep. So if you want to wake up and you want to be alive and you want to be present in life, take some time to be thankful for the things that are scaring you, and then focus on letting them be less scary. And I know it's really, really easy for me to say that if you have some life-threatening, scary thing going on in your life. But that's why I'm saying it. As Marie Williamson used to say on cassettes that I used to listen to back in the day, she said she would talk to people who had AIDS and tell them everything is going to be okay. And she said, that they just needed to focus on love in their life and gratitude and joy and bliss. And she was like, I know it's really easy for me to say that when I don't have AIDS, but that's why I'm saying it. And that's why we're here for each other, to remind each other that nothing is as bad as it seems. And the way to get through, I don't know if get through is the right word, but the way to change your life is to focus on love. I mean, you can change your life by focusing on fear, but you're still going to have that fear there with you. And it's just not really a fun way to go through life. And you've probably known yourself, like people who have just like worked really hard on a fear-based mentality, sometimes they do get ahead, but they still seem like they're not happy because they still have that fear with them. They're always holding that fear. Whereas if you can move towards gratitude and love for everything in your life, that frees up energy for you to make changes. And when you make those changes, the results are so much better because you're in a place of love. So for me personally, I would rather have lesser results and be in a place of love than to push through with fear and have those results and be in a place of fear. But strangely enough, most people make much greater results when they're in that place of love than when they're pushing through that place of fear. Your energy just flows so much better. So that is why I'm recommending to you to make a list of all the things that you don't like about your life right now, and to think about one little part of them that you can be grateful for. And even if you can't feel grateful, maybe think of like what's the ulterior motive? Why would I want this in my life? Because you're going, I don't want this, right? But what if I were sick? And nobody wants to be sick. But what if there's a part of you that gets a secondary benefit to being sick as people take care of me, or I don't have to work? And I know most people who are sick are like, I would love to be able to work. And I do get that. But sometimes on that subconscious level, there are those benefits that, that shadow enjoys that we don't consciously enjoy. Just like me, I don't enjoy bad things happening and disasters, but that shadow part of me enjoys feeling vindicated and saying, I have to focus on this and I can't focus on doing those things that I want to do to make the world better because the world is bad. The logic is flawed. So make a list of the things in your life that you don't love, and I'm not saying not to make the list of things that are easy to feel grateful for. Those are wonderful things too. But make a list of the things in your life that is not so easy to feel grateful for, and think, what is the gift in it? What could I be grateful for? Or why might the shadow or the unconscious part of myself enjoy having this in my life? And the reason to do this is because awareness is freedom. Once you become aware, then you start shifting those patterns. Because I know myself, since I've become aware, I'll still start to do it. And then I'll go, wait a minute, this is that pattern that I know that if I get caught up in all this political hoo-ha on Twitter and spend 2 hours today looking at that, as 2 hours I could have made a podcast that could have helped somebody, or 2 hours that I could have written a chapter in a new book, or 2 hours that I could have spent time with my family. So that's why I would recommend you to do this, to go through, make a list of the things that you don't love and what they're serving for you. Because once you realize that, you can drop them, and then you have so much more energy and space to bring in those things that you really do want to have on a gratitude list. So that in and of itself to me is a reason to be grateful for the things that suck. Putting it in kind of, those terms. Anyway, so I encourage you, when you're making the list of all the good stuff that you're thankful for, make a list of and I hesitate to call it bad stuff, but make that other list and give thanks for it too, because it truly is a path to more abundance and joy and bliss when you know why you're creating that in your life. And when I say that, don't think that I'm saying that you're responsible for everything that happens to you. I'm not necessarily a person who believes that, and I don't think we should beat ourselves up for where we are at any rate, whether we are responsible or not. But once we're there, we need to accept that we're there and make that choice to make the changes that we can to create what we do want in our lives. So have a wonderful Thanksgiving season. Go out and create some magic today and give thanks for all the fruitcake. I don't know. I was trying to think of something that comes along with Thanksgiving that people consider yucky, but that's more Christmas. I don't know. I would say give thanks for the pumpkin pie, but I love pumpkin pie. But if you don't, anyway, I'm going to say namaste and big hugs until next time.
Would you like some help creating more magic in your life? I've got a ton of freebies and goodies for you. They're all tucked away inside my magical freebie vault. You can get free access, though. You just have to go to www.dailyalchemy.com/magical-freebie-vault. Again, that's dailyalchemy.com/magical-freebie-vault. And when you get there, you can just plug in your name and email and you will get instant access to all kinds of goodies. There are daily and weekly manifesting planners, the How to Shift Your Vibe in 5 Minutes e-kit that has audios and a workbook. There are moon manifesting planners and daily love lists and money trackers and all kinds of goodies right there. I didn't want to make you have to go to a bunch of different pages and sites and wait for certain freebies to come out. So I just took all of my freebies and put them in one place where you could just sign up one time and download any of them that you want at any time that you needed. So you can just head on over to dailyalchemy.com/magical-freebie-vault and download them today. Have a magical day.
Thanks for listening to the Adventures in Alchemy podcast. Connect with me on thedailyalchemy.com or Facebook at facebook.com/Michelle Dobbins, author. Join us next time for even more magical life tips.